So geometric series, so we've got GP has positive first term A, so A equals A, common ratio R equals R, and sum to infinity equals S. Sum to infinity of the even, so we've got here sum to infinity of all terms is A over 1 minus R. But we've also got now sum to infinity of even number terms. So that's the all terms, and then we'll do the even numbered terms. The first term will be the second term, so A, the first term, will equal AR, because that's the first term. That doesn't mean A equals AR, it just means the first term. Okay, let's put our first term. Is that, and my R now is, I've got to times it by twice. So I've got to times it by R and then times it by R again. So R will now be equal R squared. Sum to infinity is minus a half of S. So what I've got here now, sum to infinity of even numbered equals A, which is AR, over 1 minus R, but R is R squared. And that, we're told, equals minus a half S. And this one, we're told, equals S. So I've got to find out what R equals. And so therefore, find the value of R. So I need to get rid of the S. So the S, I know, is A over 1 minus R. So I can just substitute that in here. So that tells me that AR over 1 minus R squared equals minus a half times by S, but we know S is this, A over 1 minus R, like so. And what I'll do now is, obviously the first thing I can do, I can divide both sides by A, so it gets rid of that, because A is a positive term, so I can just get rid of that, it's not 0. And then I'm going to times both sides by 1 minus R, and so that'll give me R times by 1 minus R over 1 minus R squared, and that equals negative a half. And I can see here I've got a difference between two squares, so that bit is R 1 minus R all over 1 minus R times by 1 plus R, because 1 minus R times 1 plus R is 1 plus R minus R, no R's, and then minus R squared. That equals minus a half. The 1 minus R and 1 minus R cancel out, and so that gives me R equals minus a half times by 1 plus R. So R equals minus a half minus a half of R. So add a half of R to both sides will give me 1.5, or 3 over 2 R equals minus a half. So R will equal, I suppose I'll times both sides by 2, make it easier for myself. Times both sides by 2, I can get rid of the fraction. And so R, now I've got to divide both sides by 3. I've got a minus 1 there already, so R will equal minus 1/3. And done that first bit, now I'm going to go to red. Given the third term of G is 2, so that means that AR squared equals 2. That means that A times by negative a third squared equals 2. So A times by 1/9 equals 2. So A equals 18. And we've got to show that the sum to infinity of the odd numbered terms, well, the odd numbered terms are the ones which are left when we've got taken the even numbered away from all of them. So sum of all equals this, which is A, which is 18, over 1 minus R, which is negative a third, and that equals 13.5. And sum of all even numbered equals, and there's this bit here. So AR, so it'll be 18 times by negative 1/3 over 1 minus r squared. So minus r, which is minus 1/3 squared. And that equals 18 times minus 1/3 is minus 6 over 1 minus, this will be positive 1/9, so that'll be 8/9, and that is minus 6.75. And so the sum of all odd, just need to work out that top bit minus this bit. So that equals 13.5 minus 6.75, which equals 20.25, or 81/4, because 80/4 is 20, and I've got another quarter, so I've got 81 quarters, and that's done.